Scientific report. Optimal management and rest period strategies for racing pigeons post-molt. Introduction. The post-molt phase in racing pigeons is a critical period of rest and recovery that directly influences their future performance. The molt, typically completed in late autumn, involves the shedding and regrowth of feathers, a process that demands substantial metabolic resources and physiological adjustments. During this time, pigeons are naturally more vulnerable to environmental stressors, nutritional deficiencies, and infections. Ensuring optimal recovery and conditioning during the rest period post-molt sets the foundation for the next racing season. This report presents evidence-based strategies, drawn from over 20 years of experience and current scientific understanding, on managing racing pigeons during this critical phase. Number 1. Physiological considerations post-molt. 1. Feather regrowth and metabolic demand. Feather formation is an energetically expensive process. The production of keratin, the primary protein in feathers, requires significant amounts of amino acids, especially cysteine and methionine. The feathers need to be robust and healthy, as they directly affect aerodynamic efficiency and endurance during races. During the molting process, a pigeon's metabolism shifts to prioritize feather production, often resulting in a decrease in muscle mass and a reduction in overall body condition. Therefore, as the molt concludes, the metabolic focus transitions back towards replenishing muscle stores, regaining body condition, and preparing the cardiovascular and respiratory systems for future racing demands. Hormonal fluctuations and behavioral changes. The molting period triggers significant hormonal changes, particularly in the levels of thyroid hormones and corticosterone. Elevated thyroid hormones promote feather growth, while fluctuations in corticosterone, often associated with stress, can compromise immune function if not properly managed. Post-molt, there is typically a reduction in these hormone levels, signaling the end of feather production and the beginning of recovery and reconditioning. Behaviorally, pigeons tend to show decreased activity during the molt, conserving energy for feather regeneration. After the molt, their natural inclination towards flight and exercise increases. This is a critical time to reintroduce physical conditioning progressively. Number 2. Nutritional strategies post-molt. 2. Macronutrient requirements. During the post-molt rest period, it's essential to tailor the pigeon's diet to replenish the nutrients lost during the molt and to prepare them for the rigors of training. A well-structured nutritional plan should focus on the following macronutrients. Protein. Feathers are composed mainly of keratin, a fibrous protein. Post-molt, there is a residual need for high-quality proteins to complete any remaining feather development and to rebuild muscle mass. Proteins rich in sulfur-containing amino acids, such as methionine and cysteine, are particularly important. Fats. Fats are the primary energy source for pigeons during flight. After the molt, dietary fats help restore energy reserves and support the development of subcutaneous fat stores, which are crucial for endurance in long-distance races. Omega-3 fatty acids, in particular, are beneficial for reducing inflammation and supporting cardiovascular health. Carbohydrates. While carbohydrates are less critical during prolonged flights compared to fats, they are necessary for replenishing glycogen stores in muscles and the liver. They also provide an immediate energy source for short bursts of activity as pigeons begin reconditioning. Micronutrient requirements. Vitamins. Vitamins A, D3, E, and B complex are critical during the post-molt phase. Vitamin A supports mucosal and immune health, while vitamin D3 is necessary for calcium metabolism and skeletal health. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, protecting tissues from oxidative stress, especially important after the physiological stress of the molt. B vitamins support energy metabolism and neurological function. Minerals. Calcium and phosphorus are essential for bone health and feather structure. Calcium also plays a crucial role in muscle contraction and nerve transmission. Trace elements such as zinc, manganese, and selenium are important for immune function, feather health, and antioxidant defenses. Nutritional supplements. Electrolytes and probiotics. As pigeons begin to regain their physical activity, electrolyte supplementation can help maintain proper hydration and muscle function. Probiotics support gut health, ensuring efficient digestion and nutrient absorption during this period. Amino acid supplements. Methionine and lysine supplements can accelerate the final stages of feather development and aid in muscle recovery. Taurine, an amino acid involved in cardiovascular function, is also beneficial in promoting recovery and conditioning. Number 3. Environmental management and biosecurity. 3. Loft management. Post-molt, the pigeon's loft environment must be optimized to reduce stress and promote recovery. The following considerations are crucial. Ventilation. Adequate airflow in the loft is essential to prevent the buildup of ammonia and moisture, which can predispose pigeons to respiratory infections. The loft should have a well-balanced ventilation system that minimizes drafts while maintaining a consistent, fresh air supply. Hygiene. Pigeons are particularly vulnerable to infections post-molt due to the physiological stress they've undergone. Regular cleaning of the loft, perches, and feeders is essential to minimize the risk of bacterial, viral, and parasitic infections. The use of appropriate disinfectants, for example, Virkon S or iodine-based solutions, can further reduce pathogen load. Lighting. Controlled lighting is important to regulate circadian rhythms and support hormonal balance. After the molt, pigeons can benefit from a gradual increase in daylight exposure, mimicking the natural transition towards spring. This can help stimulate natural activity levels and prepare the pigeons for training. 3. Biosecurity. Pigeons are susceptible to infections such as paramyxovirus, salmonellosis, and coccidiosis, particularly after the molt when their immune systems may still be compromised. Implementing strict biosecurity measures, including quarantine for new birds, regular health checks, and vaccination, is critical. It's advisable to work closely with an avian veterinarian to ensure an up-to-date vaccination schedule and to perform regular fecal examinations for parasites. Number 4. Health monitoring and disease prevention. 4. Immune function post-molt. The stress of the molt can suppress immune function, making pigeons more susceptible to diseases. Implementing immune-boosting strategies is key to preventing disease outbreaks during the rest period. These strategies include probiotics and prebiotics. Maintaining gut health is essential, as the gastrointestinal system is closely linked to immune function. The use of probiotics, such as lactobacillus species, and prebiotics, such as manned and oligosaccharides, can support a healthy gut microbiome and bolster immune defenses. Herbal supplements, echinacea, oregano oil, and garlic have been used as natural immune modulators. These herbs possess antimicrobial properties and may reduce the risk of infections without the use of antibiotics. 4. Parasite control. During the rest period, pigeons should be regularly checked for external parasites such as mites and lice, as well as internal parasites like coccidia and roundworms. Routine treatments with appropriate anthelmintics and external parasite control measures, such as the use of permethrin or ivermectin, are essential to prevent infestations. 4. Vaccination protocols. Vaccination is a cornerstone of disease prevention in racing pigeons. Ensure that pigeons are up to date on vaccinations against common diseases such as paramyxovirus, pigeonpox, and adenovirus. It is also advisable to conduct antibody titer tests periodically to assess the efficacy of the vaccinations and determine if booster shots are necessary. Number 5. Progressive reconditioning and exercise post-molt. Reintroducing flight training. Once the molt is complete, it's important to gradually reintroduce flight training to avoid overloading the pigeon's cardiovascular and musculoskeletal systems. A progressive exercise program, tailored to the pigeon's fitness levels, can be divided into several phases. Phase 1. Initial light flights. During the first 2 to 3 weeks after the molt, allow pigeons to fly freely around the loft without structured training. This period of unstructured flight helps them regain their natural flight rhythm and coordination without putting undue stress on their bodies. Phase 2. Short flights. After the initial 2 to 3 weeks, introduce short training flights of 10 to 15 kilometers. These flights should be easy, focusing on building stamina and ensuring that pigeons gradually rebuild their flight muscles. Phase 3. Longer flights. As the pigeons regain fitness, progressively increase the distance of training flights to 30 to 50 kilometers. By this stage, the pigeons should be flying with good form, and their cardiovascular and respiratory systems should be sufficiently reconditioned to handle longer distances. Interval training. Once pigeons have regained baseline fitness, introducing interval training can significantly improve their cardiovascular capacity and flight endurance. Interval training involves alternating periods of high-intensity flight with recovery periods. This type of training mirrors the energy demands of a race, where pigeons must be able to accelerate rapidly and maintain high speeds over long distances. Motivational techniques. During the rest period and early stages of training, motivational techniques can be used to enhance performance. Pairing pigeons with their mates, for example, can increase their motivation to return quickly to the loft during training flights. This tactic mimics the natural drive they experience during races. Number 6. Mental and behavioral conditioning. 6. Social hierarchy and group dynamics. Pigeons are highly social animals, and the dynamics within the loft can significantly impact their stress levels and performance. It is essential to manage loft dynamics. To minimize conflicts and ensure that pigeons maintain a healthy mental state, after the molt, dominant pigeons may try to reassert their position within the group, leading to fights and stress. Monitoring social interactions and separating overly aggressive individuals can help maintain harmony within the loft. 6. Visual and auditory stimuli. Pigeons are highly responsive to visual and auditory stimuli. Providing them with controlled exposure to different stimuli, such as visual patterns, sounds, and even environmental changes like varying light levels, can help enhance their mental acuity. Mental conditioning through exposure to new experiences is a subtle but important aspect of preparing pigeons for the unpredictability of races. Conclusion. The rest period following the molt is an essential phase in the annual cycle of racing pigeons. It is a time to replenish lost nutrients, restore physiological balance, and progressively recondition both the body and mind in preparation for the upcoming racing season. Through a combination of tailored nutrition, environmental management, health monitoring, and progressive training, pigeons can emerge from this period stronger and more resilient. As demonstrated by over 20 years of experience, these practices not only promote optimal recovery but also lay the groundwork for peak racing performance in the subsequent season.
Get my main racing system, just email me direct. I'm an experienced ex-pigeon racer from England, and I can offer valuable insights and guidance on all aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to racing. During my racing days, I managed a small team of no more than 70 pigeons, including stock, young birds, and old birds. It was not uncommon for me to send as few as 6 birds to a race and still secure the top 3 positions out of up to 2,500 pigeons in my club and federation. My race distances typically ranged up to 300 miles, and I consistently achieved top 5 placements in my club. My expertise extends to the art of selecting excellent breeders, including evaluating pigeons based on their eye sign characteristics. I firmly believe that true champions can only be bred from top quality stock, and I can guide you in identifying and acquiring such pigeons. I understand that many pigeons for sale are advertised based on their lineage or pedigree, but I emphasize the importance of assessing the bird itself rather than relying solely on paperwork. As part of my offer, I invite you to share photos of your pigeons, including their eye sign and wing characteristics. I'll provide you with free advice on racing and breeding based on my extensive experience and knowledge. Additionally, I will share auction links to high-quality breeding birds that have the potential to produce winners in your loft. Here's what you can expect to receive from me. A comprehensive Word document containing valuable insights and strategies for successful pigeon racing, including specific racing methods for both old and young birds, as well as general advice. Private YouTube videos sent to your email, covering various aspects of pigeon racing, from breeding to race preparation. Detailed recommendations on supplements and additives to add to your pigeon's drinking water, with scientific evidence supporting their effectiveness. Similar products are used by professional athletes and racehorses to enhance performance. Assurance that your pigeons will race home faster, provided that you have quality birds to begin with.